Welcome to Therapeutic Yoga. Today, we are focusing on and highlighting depression with today's class. Because of that, I want to begin today's class with a little bit of an educational component, or I guess kind of lecture style, based on some recent teaching that I have been undertaking in my free time through Yoga Alliance. Some of the stuff that I'm going to be referencing today is from a particular director. He's the medical director of Yoga Alliance, and his name is actually Satbir Singh Khalsa. He's also one of the authors of this fabulous medical yoga book that came out, I believe, in 2014 or 2015. So let me share the screen so that you can see just a quick little presentation. Just a couple of slides to really kind of talk about depression in general. In this particular textbook, there is an entire chapter dedicated to the clinical diagnosis of depression. But I wanted to kind of give everybody a little bit of an understanding that there is a big difference between being diagnosed with depression and having a depressive mood. So I figured the easy way for me to do this is just kind of educate everyone on this yoga class, the difference between the two. So major depressive disorder, what is in the medical world called MDD, based on these particular criteria, means that you have 5 or more of the symptoms below for a minimum of 2 weeks. So depressed mood, which I'm going to talk about in a second, sad, empty, hopeless feelings, loss of interest or pleasure in your daily activities, weight or appetite changes, sleep disturbances, psychomotor agitation, fatigue or loss of energy, feeling of worthlessness or guilt, difficulty concentrating or being indecisive, and suicidal ideation. So what I want you guys to understand is there's 9 symptoms there. In order to really be truly diagnosed with major depressive disorder, you would have to have at least 5 of those for 2+ weeks. Now, instead of that, what is often referred to as sadness or depressed mood is really the 6 criteria that's on your screen right now. So short-term or temporary as far as how long that lasts. And it's usually related to a life event or circumstance. So a lot of people have a depressive state that occurs when they've had a major life circumstance, like the death of a loved one, a divorce, a change in job or career, COVID-19. So there are lots of reasons that we would have a depressed mood. When you have a depressed mood or general sadness, you still have interest and pleasure in other activities. So there are still things in your life that make you happy, if you'd like to say that. There's usually no serious disruption in sleep or any major changes in your eating patterns beyond what you normally eat. Also, you don't tend to have just a constant negative thought or a negative mood, then you can't really find anything positive in life. But most importantly, there is no suicidal ideation. So there's a big difference between being depressed and having major depression. So there are a few causes of depression. I just wanted to kind of point these out for those of you that don't really know. Biologically, obviously, genetic, there is a genetic component to depression. Environmental, as well as childhood and developmental events. Stressful life events, just like I just mentioned, as well as prolonged stress. Now, we talk about stress all the time in my yoga classes, but when it exists for a really long time, it in of itself can be the cause of depression. So generally, there are 7 treatment modalities to treat depression in the United States. Unfortunately, the first one on this list gets the biggest creed as far as what most individuals choose to do first and foremost, and that is pharmaceuticals. However, the other 6 on this list really should be just as important. Psychotherapy and cognitive behavioral therapy, slightly different, even though a lot of people think that they are the same thing. Exercise, because exercise burns adrenaline, ladies and gentlemen, which is one of the neurochemicals that your stress system or your sympathetic nervous system creates in your body. So being able to burn off and get that out of your system will help you take care of treating your depressive mood or your depressive symptoms. Relaxation therapy, so some of the stuff we're going to be working on today. And of course, meditation and yoga, definitely some of the stuff we're going to be working on today. So specific to yoga then, what is the treatment for or of depression symptoms? Well, there's a reason that we do everything we do in yoga to work on depression and stress. And here's the reason. One, it decreases rumination. Now, if you don't know what rumination is, that means where you're constantly stuck with those thoughts in your head, not so much a monkey brain that you can't just multitask well, but no matter what you're doing in life, you're constantly thinking of the what ifs, the what ifs, the what ifs. That's the reason to practice yoga if you're in a depressive mood. Other reasons are it promotes a decrease in your stress reactivity. So what I mean by that is the next time somebody irritates you, maybe it's a husband or a loved one or someone at a grocery store, instead of reacting with a not so good behavior, you might take a breath and be able to appropriately respond a little bit more. And that's exactly what yoga helps you do. Regulating neurotransmitters, specifically a couple of neurotransmitters that we are going to work on our body today. And they are serotonin and dopamine. So those particular neurotransmitters have a lot to do with our happiness factor, if you want to say that. And we can do things with our body and with our mind to change how many of those neurotransmitters we've got floating around in our body. Promoting more adaptive thinking. And what I mean by adaptive thinking is that things don't stress you out and take you down. And so working on breathing techniques, meditation techniques, and yoga physical techniques will allow you to kind of learn to use that a little bit more to your advantage. Along with that is promoting behavioral activation, meaning you just don't want to sit there and do nothing. You have motivation to get up and do something. And finally, and one that's very important for a lot of us, increasing sleep regulation. So here's the final slide. I wanted to show this to you because this is what we're going to be really focusing on in our physical practice of yoga today. If you look on the left of that screen, the left of that screen looks at the bones of the trunk, you guys. But what I really want you to see is right next to the spine, there's a little yellow line. Now, unless you have your reading glasses on, that might be hard to see. So what I did is I extracted that little yellow line over to the right side of your screen, and it kind of looks like a bow, like a tie, doesn't it? But what that actually is that's your sympathetic trunk of your nervous system on your spine. Now, what do I mean by a sympathetic trunk? A sympathetic trunk is essentially your nervous system that sits on the front of your spine. And so what we're going to do today is focus on that sympathetic trunk. So every time we backward bend and every time we forward bend, you guys, we are exercising that nervous system to make it a little bit more flexible to be able to tackle something as serious as depression. All right, so let's get started with our class. So where I want you to begin, if you can, is to either see me or hear me, but be seated on your bolster. Now, we're going to begin class with something that we begin class all the time with, and that's a breathing exercise. Today's breathing exercise that we're going to do is the 4-7-8 breath, only because it is the most researched breathing technique relative to depression. So what I'd like you to do is get yourself in a nice, good posture. So make sure that you're not slumped. Make sure that you're not sitting with your back already arched. And instead, you're somewhere in that happy space in between. Feel weight through your legs, so make sure your rib cage is enough forward that you have weight gently through your legs. Let's take our shoulder girdles and line them up with our spine. So let's do this a nice, easy way today. The chair's not in our way. So simply take your arms and rest them down to the side of your bolster or cushion. Shrug your shoulders up slightly. Turn your thumbs to the back of you and then pull your shoulder blades back and down. Squeeze between your shoulder blades, and then once you've done that, gently place one hand on the right thigh, one hand on the left thigh. Lengthen through the back of your neck and kind of settle your chin into your throat. In this position, feel free to close your eyes and also just gently place your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Now, why are we going to begin with a breathing exercise? Well, it's really kind of simple. We need to get out of our head and into our body. And so the very simplest way to get out of your head and out of rumination and thinking and into your body is to focus on your breath. So here's what we're doing. We're going to inhale for 4. We're going to retain or hold our breath for 7, and then just slowly open your mouth, either pursed lip or a little bit larger, and exhale for 8. All right, let's begin. Take an inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Open your eyes for me. And now we're going to be moving on to the next thing that we're doing. Now, here's the thing. No one can hear you. You are in the privacy of your own home. But we know that laughter yoga does one very important thing. It allows you to really extend your exhale. As you extend your exhale, you start to slow down that stress response, that fight or flight. Also, as you're laughing, you're releasing serotonin. You're releasing the neurochemical that is the main thing depleted in depression. So put a big smile on your face, sit nice and tall, shoulders back and down, squeeze between those shoulder blades, and begin to laugh in 3, 2, 1, and go. And 3, 2, 1, and relax. Now, you cannot tell me that as you were laughing, you didn't feel good. You didn't feel the energy going through your body. You didn't get out of your head, because I know you did. So anytime you are in that space in your body and mind at home, and you just can't feel the energy or the ability to just do the next thing, just take a moment, guys. 30 seconds, 20 seconds, and laugh. Then take a deep breath afterwards, and I guarantee you it might make you that much closer to taking the next step forward to wanting to do something. All right, so let's move on with class. We're going to spend all of today working on elongating the front of our spine and shortening the front of our spine. Really tackling that sympathetic trunk that affects that flight or fight response. So in sitting positions, hands on your thighs, let's take a nice deep inhale and start a seated cat-cow. As you arch your back, tailbone lifts, lift the rib cage up, lengthen the neck, and look up as high as you can. And then as you exhale, slowly bring the neck downward, sink the chest downward, tuck the tailbone under, and gaze right into your belly button. Inhale, lengthening the entire front of that spine. Focus on how long can you make this. Exhale, gently curling it under, curling it under, curling it under. Gaze into your belly button. One more time. Inhaling and lengthening. Lengthen and lengthen and lengthen. And then exhaling and shortening and bringing that chin to chest and pulling that all the way up. Look into that belly button. And then slowly coming back to the center position. All right, just a quick little stretch for the side of our body. So place your left hand on the bolster on the cushion, or if you want, take your yoga block and place it beside your cushion if your cushion is a little narrower. Take a nice deep inhale, and on the inhale, lift your right arm up. And then on the exhale, gently side bend over. Now turn your armpit up towards the ceiling and sit into your right sit bone. Take a deep inhale here, and then on the exhale, maybe bend that left elbow and side bend a little bit more, but keep yourself kind of turned upward towards that ceiling. Now into this right belly, take a nice deep inhale into your belly. And then as you exhale, hold here. Good. Inhale coming up, and then exhale, dropping your arm down. Repeating that on the opposite side, holding the bolster or something next to your cushion if your cushion is a little narrower. Left arm, inhaling it up, exhaling, side bending over to the right. Now taking that left armpit and turning it up and sitting down into that left sit bone. Taking a deep inhale here, and then on the exhale, side bending, turning upward with that armpit, sitting down into that sit bone. Now to this right lower abdomen, left lower abdomen area. Take a deep inhale into there. And then as you exhale, hold that. Inhale, coming back up, and then exhale, dropping your hand down. Very nice. Have your yoga block so it's somewhere next to your mat, and then allow yourself to turn off of your bolster and still have the bolster lengthwise. So don't allow yourself to turn it just yet. We're going to do that in just a moment. But allow yourself to have your bolster lengthwise. Take your feet and your knees and take them to the width of your mat. Once you're there, slowly bring your little big toes together to touch. Bring the bolster back so that it lines up with your knees, hands on your bolster. Now in this position, take an inhale and let the tailbone lift, let the rib cage drop, lengthen the neck and look upward. And then as you exhale, really tuck the tailbone under, arch the back, and sit gently back towards those two heels. Now slowly slide your hands forward. Drop the crown of your head right to your bolster. Now in this position, allow yourself to slowly and deeply inhale. And then as you exhale, just let your entire rib cage gently fall on the bolster. Deeply inhale into the belly. And then as you exhale, rest that entire rib cage down on the bolster. 2 more breaths. Nice deep inhaling in and exhaling out. Inhaling in and exhaling out. Slowly pushing yourself back up, allowing yourself now to turn your bolster and bring your knees hip distance. For most of us, that's 2 fists between the knees. Gaze back that you can't see your heels or your toes on the inside or the outside. Stack the hips directly on top of the knees. And then walk the hands so that the hands are on the front side of your bolster relative to your mat. Line up your elbows and your wrists with your shoulders. Index fingers are pointed forward, thumbs really spread those thumbs in and spread out the outer 3 fingers, but allow yourself to have weight only into your index fingers and your thumbs. Now, in this position, allow yourself to go through 3 cat-cows. So inhale, sink the belly, lift the tailbone, shoulder blades back, lengthen that spine and look up. And then exhale, really curl and tuck under as you look into your belly button. Inhale, sinking down, allowing yourself to really gaze and lift that tailbone. And exhale, curling everything under, look to your belly button. One more time, nice deep inhale, sinking and sinking and sinking. And exhaling, curling everything under. Now, once you have everything curled under, walk your hands onto your bolster. Stay curled under, sit back, and slowly now drop the crown of your head back towards your bolster. In this position, allow your chin to be into your throat. Allow your gaze to be back towards your pelvis or your belly button. Take a deep inhale into your belly. And exhaling out. Deep inhale into the belly button and belly. Exhaling out. One more time. Deep inhale in. And exhaling out. Slowly walking yourself back up, finding yourself once again in hands and knees, but this time allowing yourself to turn your hands so that your hands line up side by side on the side of your bolster. Once you've done that, keep your feet directly where they are, right behind your hips. Don't allow yourself to move your feet to one side or the other just yet. And then in this position, take an inhale and sink the spine down, look up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, curl everything under. One more, inhaling, sinking the spine, looking upward, and then exhaling and curling under. Now, once you curl under, left hand on the bolster, push yourself back until you feel the stretch in the opening through that right arm. Gaze straight back between your knees. Take a nice deep inhale here. And then on the exhale, use your left hand to push just a little bit more to open up through that shoulder on the right side. Deep inhale in. Exhaling, sitting and pushing. Slowly inhaling, coming back. Exhaling, bringing yourself to the center. And then turning yourself to the right side, lining up the fingertips, keeping the legs nice and straight. Focus on the top of the rib cage here. So inhale, sinking everything down, looking up. Exhaling, curling under and looking between your arms to your left leg. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling, curling under, curling under, curling under. Taking your right hand to the bolster, not moving your left hand. Stay curled and begin to sit. Take a nice deep inhale here. Then on your exhale, can you sit a little bit further? Take a deep inhale. Exhaling, push a little further. Inhaling, pushing back up. Exhaling, finding yourself back to hands and knees. Now, in this position, take your bolster. We're going to use it at the end of class. So gently place it to the side of you so that it's kind of out of your way. And then from here, gently bring yourself down onto your elbows. Now in this position, check back with your feet, make sure that they haven't gone too wide or they're not crossed or together. And they're about that 6 inches apart that you want. Check in that your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders and your hands are pointed forward. Now, our focus today is to always be thinking about shortening or lengthening the front of your spine. Right now, there is a lot of lengthening happening to the lower half of the front of your spine. However, ladies and gentlemen, if you're someone in the class that has a very sensitive low back and is very sensitive to extension with laying on your belly, place something underneath your belly to allow yourself to not have any pain while you're simply trying to tackle your nervous system. Very good. Now, in this position, allow yourself to kind of feel your shoulder blades. So take an inhale and sink your chest down, squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then as you exhale, spread the shoulder blades apart as much as you can and just kind of gently look downward towards your elbows. Inhale, sink them together, maybe look a little bit up towards the wall in front of you, and then exhale, curl everything under. Now, can you find the middle of the road between your inhale and your exhale with your spine? Once you have that, in that position, lengthen your neck, settle your chin, gaze downward somewhere between your forearms. We're really going to focus on breathing into our belly here in this extension. So can you, in this position, take a nice deep inhale into your belly? As you exhale, just let your spine gently drop towards the floor. 2 more breaths. Deep inhale into your belly. And then as you exhale, slowly letting your spine drop towards the floor. 1 more, nice deep inhale. As you exhale, slowly dropping the spine towards the floor. Very nice. Gently allowing yourself to come down off of your elbows, a nice little kind of diamond shape with your thumbs and your index fingers, and then just gently resting the brow onto there so that you can just rest into that position for a minute. Doing a little tiny bit of opening through our hip flexors and our hips, laying on our belly here. So in this position, take an inhale and bend your knees up. Exhale, hold here for a minute. Take a nice deep inhale, and then on the exhale, just gently let the feet fall to the right side. Inhale, lifting the feet back up, and then exhaling, dropping the feet to the left side. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling right. Inhaling up. Exhaling left. 1 more time, ladies and gentlemen. Inhaling up. Exhaling right. Inhaling up. Exhaling left. Inhaling back up to the center, and then exhaling there. Slowly dropping the feet back down. All right. From this position, let's make our way to child's pose. Now, what I would like you to do is to see if you can use some core muscles to make your way to child's pose. So try this with me if you can. Take your hands and place your hands underneath your shoulders. Pull your shoulder blades back and down. Allow yourself to tuck your tailbone under and engage your abdominals. Now, bring your nose towards your mat. Can you push your legs into the floor, use your triceps, and slowly slide your nose on the floor all the way to child's pose? If you watched me the first time and you want to try it again, practice it to see where you feel you do it well. So, hands underneath the shoulders, elbows are back and down, shoulder blades are tucked in. Really create a contraction in your abdominals and take your legs and push them into the yoga mat as you use the arm strength to push yourself all the way back to child's pose. I couldn't get it? Don't worry about it. Some time for laughter yoga, isn't it? All right, drop your crown of your head down to the floor. Allow yourself to be as compressed and flexed through the front of your body. If your crown of your head does not meet the mat, gently give it some support with a block or a towel or a blanket. Take a nice deep inhale into your belly. Exhaling out. 2 more breaths. Deep inhale in. And exhaling out. And inhaling inward. And exhaling out. All right, slowly returning to hands and knees. Now, please make sure that your toes are on your yoga mat for this one. We are going to attempt to do downward dog. Now, I can hear some of you through the screen already. Oh no, that's too advanced of a yoga pose for me. Well, let's talk about how to do it well. Downward dog does a lot to elongate the front of your spine. It is so good for depression. So let's give it a try. Allow yourself to check in that your hands are shoulder width and underneath your shoulders. Check in that your knees are hip width and underneath your hips. Now, turn your toes under. In this position, take an inhale, and on the exhale, really tighten your abdominals. Now, use the strength of your trunk and your arms to just lift your knees off the floor. Take a deep inhale, then on the exhale, start to push yourself back as your hips go towards the sky. Keep your knees bent. Gaze straight back towards your knees. Take another deep inhale, then on the exhale, straighten the knees just enough to feel tension in the back of your thighs, but no pain. Finally, last deep inhale. Exhale, slowly start to sit your heels downward towards the floor to feel the calf muscles. Now gently push into the index finger and the thumb, gaze straight back. Really try to feel the hips going up to the ceiling as the heels go down to the floor. Take a deep inhale here and an exhale. What does it feel like for you to switch your perspective to upside down? One more inhale and exhale. Slowly lift the heels, slowly bend the knees, bring the weight forward, drop the knees to the floor. Take a deep inhale, and on your exhale, tuck your tailbone under, sit into your heels, and find yourself back into that child's pose. Now, I promise you, it probably wasn't as hard as you thought. One great thing about downward dog is it is so hard to ruminate. It is hard to be in your mind and in your brain and in your thoughts when all you're focusing on is balancing and being upside down. Take a deep inhale into your belly for me, and then exhale out. Nice deep inhale into your belly. And then exhaling outward. Slowly allow yourself to come back up on hands and knees, just long enough to turn yourself over onto your side, and then gently roll yourself from your side over onto your back. Once you're on your back, check in that your knees are still bent and that your knees and your feet are hip distance apart. Shoulder blades are underneath you, arms are gently out to the side of your body. Lengthen your neck and settle your chin into your throat for a moment. Allow yourself to be right here. Focusing on a different breathing technique for a second, let's just practice some diaphragmatic breathing here. So take a slow, deep inhale into your belly and feel your belly lift up towards the ceiling. Gently open your mouth, and as you exhale, just let the belly deflate like a balloon. 2 more breaths. Gently inhaling the air inward, balloon expands upward towards the ceiling. Gently opening your lips and exhaling and exhaling and exhaling and exhaling and exhaling. One more. Inhaling into the diaphragm and belly. Opening those lips and exhaling, 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 exhaling. From here, taking your right knee and bringing it up into your chest. Nice deep inhale as the hands come around the shin, and exhale, pull that knee inward. Deep inhale in. Exhaling, pulling the knee into the chest. Check in that your neck is long and your chin is tucked into your throat. Deep inhale in. Last time. Exhale, pull that knee to your chest. Slowly release the right foot to the floor, taking the left knee to your chest. Nice deep inhale in. Exhale, pulling that knee into your chest. 2 more times. Inhaling into the belly to lengthen the neck, settle the chin. Exhale, pulling the knee into your chest. Deep inhaling inward. Exhaling, pulling that knee into the chest. Very nice. Releasing the left foot to the floor. Taking the right knee back to the floor, holding the knee to the chest, left leg sliding it down the mat. Get your knee nice and straight and in line with your body. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, pull that knee into your chest. Now, can you pull your shoulder blades back and down, lengthen your neck and settle your chin into your throat? 2 more breaths. Deep inhale in. Exhale, pulling the knee into your chest. And deep inhale in. Exhaling, pulling that knee into your chest. Take an inhale, slide that left leg up. Exhale, release the right foot to the floor. Now taking the left knee up into the chest and holding it and just bringing the right leg down. Right hip, knee, and ankle in alignment again. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, shoulder blades back and down. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, pulling the left knee into the chest. 2 more breaths here. Check in that your neck is long for me. Nice deep inhale. And then exhaling, pulling that knee into your chest. And deep inhaling. And exhaling, pulling that knee into your chest. With the right leg, inhale, slide the right leg up. Exhale, dropping the leg down onto the, with the exhale. Now, grab your block for me, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be working on bridging today, since bridging is another way to get that elongation and strength through your trunk. So really helps in opening up the hips, helps in really firing up the trunk, helps in releasing those neurotransmitters again to help us combat that depression. So here's what I would like you to do. You have a couple of options here. Option number 1, you can use the smallest part of your block. Now, if you're using books or something, maybe a couple books here, but you can use the shortest dimension of your block and gently place that block underneath your pelvis. That will be option number 1 for the class. Option number 2, turn the block 90 degrees and use the next largest width of the block. Now, there is less balance when you do this one, so each one of these is more advanced. So option number 2 is placing yourself in even a larger decline with much less balance to the pelvis, but you are in fact in a bridge pose here. So pick number 1, pick number 2, pick which one you feel is best for you, but isn't creating any sort of stress or tension to your low back. Option 1, hips are still in a little bit of flexion. Option 2, hips are in less flexion. Now, whichever one you've chosen, lengthen your neck, settle your chin into your throat, take your arms and rest them down beside you. Make sure that your shoulder blades are back and down. In this position, we are perfectly positioned to really work our diaphragm. So allow yourself, even if you need to, place your hands on your belly, keep your neck long. Take an inhale and really expand the belly up into the ceiling. Then as you exhale, gently open your mouth and let the air come out. 2 more breaths. Inhaling, gently opening the mouth, and exhaling, letting that air go. And 1 more time. Inhaling. Opening the mouth and exhaling. Beautiful. Now gently resting your hands back down onto the mat or the floor. Checking in that your abdominals are a little tight here. So take an inhale, and then on the exhale, harden or brace your belly a little bit for me. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of a balance maneuver here. So you're supported by your block. In this position, begin to gently push your right foot down into the floor. As you push your right foot down into the floor, take an inhale and gently straighten your left leg out. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, gaze straight up to the ceiling. Feel your glutes engaging. Feel the decline of the spine as the diaphragm has no option but to work. Maybe even put a smile on your face. Nice deep inhale here. And exhale. One more breath, I promise. Deep inhale here. And exhale, let the left knee bend. Relax the right leg. All right, same deal. Push into your left leg. Feel the glutes, hamstrings, back muscles, abdominals, everything fire when you do that. Make sure your abdominals are nice and firm, like somebody was about to punch you in the gut. All right, take an inhale here, and with the right leg, straighten the right leg out. Holding this as you exhale. Maintaining this, take an inhale, and exhale, and slowly dropping down the right leg. No, we're not doing both legs together, ladies and gentlemen, I promise. But let's repeat this one time more on each leg. So lengthen your neck, settle your chin, tighten your abdominals, push into the right leg. Take an inhale and straighten the left leg. Hold it here on the exhale. Maintain it here for another inhale. And exhale, drop the left leg down. Relax the right. Harden the abdominals. Push into the left leg. Inhale, straighten the right leg out. Exhale, hold it here. Inhale, keep it here. Exhale, drop the right leg down. All right, now gently remove your block. Allow yourself to bring your pelvis back down to the mat. In this position, we're now going to work on creating mobility through our pelvis. So we've done a lot to open up through this entire spine. Again, really focusing on the sympathetic chain to allow a better response to our stress response and hopefully help those depressive moods. So now what I want you to do, this is a little bit of a Feldenkrais technique, an awareness through movement technique. So what I would like you to do is imagine that you have a clock on the front of your belly. With that clock, the 12 o'clock points up to your head, and the 6 o'clock points down towards your feet. In this position, the clock face is facing upward. So the 3 o'clock is to your left side, and the 9 o'clock is to your right side. So really get out of your head and into your body and envision that clock laying on your pelvis. Now your knees are bent and your feet are flat, but allow your legs to be very, very light right now. Take a nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, how would you use your back muscles to tilt that clock towards the 6? Take an inhale. How would you use your abdominals to tilt that clock towards a 12? Let's practice this. Exhaling towards the 6. Use just your back muscles. Keep your legs light. And relaxing here. Take an inhale. Go towards the 6. Exhaling all the way towards the 12. Inhaling here. Exhaling back to the center position. Take an inhale. Exhale down towards the 6. Feel your back muscles contracting. Inhale all the way to the 12 o'clock. Exhale, hold it here. Inhale, exhale back to the center. All right, so let's try it with movement without stopping at all. So our exhales will be to the 6 o'clock. Our inhales will be to, our inhales will be to the 6 o'clock. Our exhales will be to the 12 o'clock. Let's give it a try, ladies and gentlemen. Take an inhale to 6. Take an exhale to 12. Lighten your legs. Use your abdominals. Inhale to 6. Exhale to 12. One more time. Inhale to 6. And exhale to 12. Very good. Relax your pelvis into the center. Now, let's focus on the left side of the clock. So the 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 part of the clock. So take an inhale here, and then on the exhale, go down to 6 o'clock. Take another inhale, and then on the exhale, can you figure out how to make it a little bit to the 5 o'clock? So don't let your legs rotate. Let your abdominals and your pelvis muscles figure out how to do this without your knees doing the work. Take another inhale. And then on the exhale, can you figure how to go to 4 o'clock? Take an inhale. And then on the exhale, can you figure how to go to 3 o'clock? Now inhale, exhale the pelvis in the center. Now can you inhale to 2 o'clock? Exhale, hold it there. Can you inhale to 1 o'clock? Exhale, hold it there. And can you inhale to 12 o'clock? And then exhale, hold it there. Take an inhale, go back to the center, and then completely relax. Now, don't worry about your breath, but go through the left side of your clock for me. Go down to 6 o'clock. Go to 5. Go to 4. Go to 3. Pull up to 2. Pull up to 1. Pull all the way up to 12. Then gently relax the clock in the center. All right, let's do the high numbers or the right side of the clock. So inhale down to 6. Exhale, hold it here. Inhale over to 7. Exhale, hold it here. Can you inhale over to 8? Keep the legs still, don't let them move. Exhale, hold it here. Inhale to 9, keep the legs steady, use the back and abdominal muscles. Exhale, hold it here. And then take an inhale and let the pelvis come back to the center. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, can you figure out how to make it to 10 o'clock? Take an inhale. Further exhale, can you make it till 11 o'clock as that pelvis tilts up and to the right? Take an inhale, and then exhale back to 12 o'clock. Inhale, rest your pelvis back in the center. Now don't worry about breath. Try it one time. Can you go down to 6? Can you come over to 7? Don't let your legs move. Over to 8, over to 9, up to 10, up to 11, up to 12, and relax in the center. Very nice. Take your right knee to your chest And then take your left knee to your chest. Nice deep inhale here. And then exhale, pull your knees deeply into your chest. One more time, deep inhale in. Exhaling, pulling the knees into the chest. Now, if you'd like to do a full stretch of that nervous system, hold your hands around your shins. Get your biceps ready. Lengthen your neck, tuck your chin into your throat. Slowly lift your head as your chin is through your chest, and then use your biceps and pull your rib cage up. How close can you get your nose to your knees? Holding here, deep inhale in, and then gently exhaling, dropping the rib cage down first, lengthening the neck, chin to chest, and then slowly relaxing the head. Dropping one foot down, followed by the other. And then when you're ready, slowly roll yourself over onto your side and sit yourself up. All right, now let's get ourselves ready for the last pose of our day. We're gonna do some trunk rotation once we get on it. So use your bolster and use your block. Place your block at the top of your mat, and then take your bolster and rest your bolster on top of your block. So we've done downward dog to do an inversion today, and we've also done bridge pose to do an inversion today. And so we're going to begin to end our class doing a reclined position. So once you have yourself set up in this position, slowly bring yourself so that your pelvis touches, your sacrum area touches the base of your bolster. Once you're there, gently place your hands on either side of your bolster and very slowly allow yourself to come down onto the bolster. Lengthen your neck and settle your chin. Check in that your rib cage hasn't lifted up. A lot of us like to keep that sympathetic nervous chain, that trunk that we talked about, in that extended position. So drop the rib cage down so that it's nice in alignment with the spine. Once you're here, just gently allow yourself to rest your hands out into the side of you. Allow the arms to drop down. Allow the chest to open up as you allow it to be heavy. Lengthen your neck and settle your chin into your throat. Position of the legs now. We're going to do a little bit of a spinal twist here. So take your left foot and place it to the center of your mat, and then just gently take your right leg and cross it on top. Keeping your rib cage down, your neck long and your chin tucked. Take a gentle inhale here, and then on the exhale, just very lightly let the knees fall to the right. Now, can you lengthen out your left arm and not let it shorten? So lengthen it out so that you stay on your bolster, but get just that little bit of length through that trunk rotation. Take a deep inhale into your belly and the left rib cage. And then as you exhale, maybe your knees can gently go a little further. Nice deep inhale. And then exhale, maybe let those knees go a little further. Then, starting at your inhale, bring the rib cage back first, followed by the low back, followed by the pelvis, and then the knees back to their upright position. Uncross the right foot, place it to the center of your mat, and then take your left leg and just gently cross it up and over your right knee. Pay attention now to the right arm. Make sure it stays long onto the floor. Take a deep inhale here, and then on the exhale, gently let the knees fall to the left. Neck is long, chin is gently tucked. Feel the rib cage lifting, and finally lengthen through that right arm. Taking a deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, maybe going a little tiny bit further. Nice deep inhale. And then exhale maybe a little tiny bit further. Then starting with this right rib cage, slowly pulling it back up, followed by the low back and pelvis until the knees are all the way back up. Uncrossing the legs. If you slid down your bolster, give yourself a little scoot and a shake all the way back up. And then when you feel like you're ready, let one leg come down to the corner of the mat, followed by the other leg to the other corner of the mat. Rest yourself in this position. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Take your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Settle through your eyes. Let your body begin to rest. And then slowly allow yourself to take the focus to your breath. And here's what we're going to do to end our class today. We're going to do a little mantra that works really nice when we're dealing with depressive symptoms. And so what I want you to do is I want you to take an inhale and say to yourself, I calm the body. And then as you exhale, say, I calm the mind. Nice and simple, ladies and gentlemen. Inhaling, I calm the body. Exhaling, I calm the mind. Inhaling, I calm the body. And exhaling, I calm the mind. Keep that going on your own. Allow your body to be still. Allow your thoughts to focus on your words. I calm the body. I calm the mind. Now slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And pick a leg and slowly slide that leg up, followed by the other. And then very gently turn yourself as you roll off of your bolster and find yourself in a seated position. Hands are to our hearts. Hopefully our bodies are calmed, but more importantly, hopefully our mind is calm. Take a nice deep inhale in and exhaling out. Namaste. The highest in me salutes the highest in you.